You've probably scrolled past these games 100 times without giving them a second look. That's a mistake. The Switch has a goldmine of underrated titles that deserve way more attention, and today, we're breaking down the top 15 hidden gems you need to play right now. The Rogue Prince of Persia. So this one came out quietly and honestly didn't get the hype it deserved. It's a 2D action roguelite where you play as a prince trying to push back a Hunnic invasion that's unleashed some seriously dark magic on Persia. The gameplay is all about movement. You're wall running, vaulting off enemies, chaining acrobatic combos together, and it feels incredibly fluid once it clicks. Every run you start fresh, but you carry over knowledge and some upgrades that slowly make you stronger. The combat rewards aggression. You don't want to play it safe here. You pick up different weapons and boons as you go, building a style that suits how you want to play. Die, learn, adapt, repeat. The art style is gorgeous too, kind of like a living mural. If you like fast, skillful games with good progression and a setting that isn't overdone, this one's absolutely worth your time on Switch. Death's Door. Alright, imagine a world where crows work as Grim Reapers, collecting souls for a massive, bureaucratic afterlife organization. That's the setup. You play as a small crow reaper who gets their assigned soul stolen, and now you're stuck. You can't die, but you can't move on either. Death's Door is a top-down action game with tight sword combat, a bow, and magic spells you unlock over time. The dungeons are compact, but dense with secrets. Boss fights are genuinely well designed. Each one teaches you something and pushes you to use everything you've learned. The world is quiet and melancholy, but also kind of funny in a dry way. There's no hand-holding here. You figure things out by exploring and paying attention. The Switch version runs great, and the controls feel right. It's got this From Software energy without being punishingly hard. Short, focused, and emotionally memorable in ways you don't expect from a game like this. CrossCode is set inside a fictional MMO game, and you play as Leah, a player who logs in with no memory and can barely speak. The gameplay mixes real-time action combat with some of the most creative puzzle design you'll find in any RPG. You throw an energy ball that bounces off walls, and puzzles are built entirely around that mechanic. It gets wild. The world is massive, the story slowly unravels in a way that keeps you curious, and the combat has real depth, with elemental skills and combo systems. Side quests are actually good here, not just filler. The pixel art is detailed, and environments feel alive. It plays like an action RPG, but it's got the soul of a classic JRPG in terms of story investment. If you like games that respect your intelligence and give you a lot to chew on, mechanically and narratively, CrossCode is legitimately one of the best RPGs available on Switch, and most people have no idea it exists. Ball X Pit is an arcade-style game where you control a ball trying to survive a pit full of increasingly chaotic enemies and hazards. It's got this pure, addictive gameplay loop. Easy to pick up, hard to master, impossible to put down once it grabs you. The challenge ramps steadily, and the skill expression is real. You're reading patterns, reacting fast, making split-second choices. It's the kind of game that's perfect for short sessions, but you'll keep coming back to beat your own score. Visually, it's clean and readable, nothing over-designed. The satisfaction of getting deep into a run after lots of failure is genuinely rewarding. It's the type of hidden gem that proves you don't need a massive budget or complex story to make something compelling. Pure game design doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Underrated in the best possible way. Crypt Custodian is a top-down action-adventure where you play as a cat named Pluto who just died and got kicked out of the afterlife for being too much trouble. Now you're cleaning up the crypt, literally. The gameplay mixes broom-based combat with a Metroidvania-style world where new abilities open up new areas. The broom mechanics are satisfying. You can sweep projectiles, dash, and build into different playstyles. The world is full of quirky ghost characters, and the writing is genuinely funny without trying too hard. Boss fights are highlights throughout. There's a lot of heart in this game, despite the comedic premise. Exploration feels rewarding, secrets are well hidden, and the upgrade system gives you meaningful choices. It's cozy, but it's also got real challenge when it wants to. If you like Metroidvanias with personality and a game that knows exactly what it is and executes it confidently, Crypt Custodian is a must-play. Enter the Gungeon is the one game on this list that might already be on your radar. But if you haven't played it yet, stop everything. It's a bullet hell roguelite dungeon crawler, where every single enemy, item, and mechanic is a gun pun. The entire world is built around the concept. You play as one of several characters, each with their own backstory, trying to find a gun that can kill the past. The gameplay is relentless and skill-based. Hundreds of weapons, incredible synergies between items. You'll die constantly at first, but every death teaches you something. The dodge roll is your best friend. Mastering it changes everything. The co-op mode on Switch makes it even better. It's deep, chaotic, and endlessly replayable. The more you play it, the more the game opens up. It's one of those titles where you'll put in 40 hours and feel like you've barely scratched the surface of what's actually in there. Shogun Showdown. This one is a turn-based tactics game with a samurai theme, and honestly, it's brilliant. Shogun Showdown puts you in a grid-based arena where every move you make, every enemy also takes a turn. It's about reading the board, positioning carefully, and executing attacks in the right order. You build your deck of moves as you go through each run, and the synergies you discover are genuinely exciting. The visual style is clean and punchy, combat feedback is satisfying, and the difficulty curve is well-tuned. It's a roguelite at its core. You run through floors, fight enemies, pick up new cards, and eventually face a boss. The strategy depth is real without being overwhelming. There's always a clear logic to why you died, which makes failure feel fair rather than frustrating. It's the kind of tactical game that makes you feel smart when you pull off a clean run. Short sessions, big payoff. Inkulinati is one of the most unique games on this entire list. It's a turn-based strategy game set inside medieval manuscripts you're literally fighting on the pages of illuminated books. You play as an Inkulinati master who summons creatures drawn in ink to battle other masters. The creatures are pulled straight from real medieval art. Rabbits with crossbows, snails in armor, dogs playing music, and they all have distinct abilities. The gameplay is deep, requiring you to think about positioning, ink resources, and unit abilities. The campaign has a story with personality, and the humor is consistent with the aesthetic: dry, absurd, medieval. Each battle takes place on a different manuscript page, with unique terrain rules. Unlocking new creatures and discovering how they interact is the main draw. It's a strategy game for people who want something genuinely different and beautifully designed. Nothing on Switch looks or feels like this. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a brand new 2D action platformer in the classic Ninja Gaiden style. You play as a new character, fighting alongside Ryu Hayabusa against a demonic threat. The combat is fast, precise, and brutal. You've got wall jumps, quick attack chains, and special ninja arts that you unlock as you progress. Level design is tight, and every stage throws new challenges at you. The difficulty is real. This is not a casual experience, but it's always fair. Bosses are intense and memorable. The pixel art is absolutely stunning, one of the best-looking 2D games on the Switch, without question. It plays like a love letter to classic action platformers, but with modern polish. If you grew up on games like Mega Man or old-school Castlevania, and you want something that brings that energy back with genuine craft and care, Ragebound is the one. Mio, Memories in Orbit, is a puzzle adventure game where you play as a small robot on a space station, trying to understand what happened to the humans who lived there. The gameplay involves manipulating gravity and shifting your perspective to navigate environments and solve puzzles. It's quiet, atmospheric, and methodical in the best way. The story is told almost entirely through environment and discovery. No lengthy cutscenes, no hand-holding. You piece it together yourself, and that process is emotionally powerful in a way that sticks with you. The visuals are minimalist but striking, and the sound design carries a lot of weight. Puzzles are inventive and never repeat the same idea twice. It's a short experience, but a complete one. Nothing is wasted. Mio is the kind of game you think about after you finish it. It earns its #1 spot not through spectacle, but through genuine, quiet craft. Ender Magnolia is a dark, beautiful Metroidvania set in a world where humans created artificial beings called homunculi to do their work, and then something went terribly wrong. A toxic miasma spread across the land, corrupting these creatures and turning them dangerous. You play as Lilac, a young girl who wakes up with no memory, slowly uncovering the truth about this broken world. The gameplay is smooth and satisfying. You collect fallen homunculi and bind them to yourself using their abilities in combat and exploration. Each one fights differently, so your playstyle evolves as you find new companions. The map opens up gradually in classic Metroidvania fashion, and backtracking always feels rewarding because new abilities unlock paths you couldn't reach before. Combat has real depth. Dodging, timing, and knowing when to switch abilities matters. The atmosphere is melancholy and rich, and the world building layers in slowly without overwhelming you. Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus is a 2D action platformer inspired by Japanese folklore, and the art style reflects that completely. You play as Bow, a small celestial being who descends into a beautifully hand-drawn world of spirits, shrines, and ancient creatures. The core mechanic is built around your staff. You can bounce off enemies and objects mid-air to chain together movement in ways that feel incredibly expressive. It starts simple and gets genuinely technical as the game opens up. There's a Metroidvania structure here. Abilities you gain reshape how you move through the world. Exploration is rewarded with lore, upgrades, and hidden areas that flesh out the story. The game never rushes you. Combat is snappy and responsive, and learning enemy patterns adds a nice layer of skill expression. The world has this quiet magic to it. Each area feels distinct and carefully designed. Tunic is a game that genuinely doesn't tell you what it is until you're already deep in it. On the surface, it looks like a cute isometric action-adventure you play as a small fox, exploring a mysterious and dangerous world, with no guidance, no map, no explanation. And that's the whole point. The game has a manual, written in a fictional language you slowly decode throughout your playthrough. Piecing together what that manual says and applying it to the world is one of the most rewarding gameplay loops in recent memory. Combat is deliberate and tough. Stamina management, positioning, and learning enemy patterns all matter. But the real heart of Tunic is exploration and discovery. Secrets are everywhere. The world is dense with things to find and mysteries to unravel. Every new page of the manual feels like a genuine breakthrough. It's the kind of game that rewards curiosity above everything else. It'll challenge you, confuse you, and occasionally blow your mind. Spelunky 2 is one of the best designed games ever made, and it belongs on every Switch owner's radar. You're a spelunker diving into procedurally generated underground worlds, searching for treasure, and every run is different. The game looks simple. It is not. Every element in every level interacts with every other element in ways that create emergent chaos constantly. Enemies affect each other. Your tools have unintended consequences. The environment reacts to everything. Death is permanent, and it happens a lot. But Spelunky 2 has this quality where you almost never feel like the game cheated you. You made a decision, and it killed you, and you understand exactly why. That loop of learning, adapting, and going deeper is extraordinarily addictive. There are hidden paths, alternate worlds, and secrets so deep that the community spent years uncovering them. Planet of Lana II. The first game was a gorgeous cinematic puzzle platformer, and this sequel expands everything: the world, the story, the mechanics, and the emotional weight. You're back in this alien world, rendered in stunning, hand-painted visuals that look unlike anything else on Switch. The story picks up and goes deeper, exploring themes of connection, survival, and what it means to fight for something. Gameplay is built around stealth, environmental puzzles, and the bond between your character and their animal companion. You work together to solve obstacles, distract enemies, and navigate a world that feels genuinely alive and dangerous. Puzzles are creative, and the solutions always feel logical in hindsight. The pacing is cinematic. There are quiet moments of wonder and tense moments of real urgency. It's not a long game, but every single minute is intentional. No padding, no filler. Just a beautifully crafted experience from start to finish that leaves you sitting with it long after the credits roll. Every game on this list deserves way more players. Drop a comment with which one you're trying first. If you found a hidden gem we missed, let us know below. Like and subscribe for more Switch deep dives. There's always more out there worth finding.